Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, I apologise for not having made any videos for a while, but I've had flu, and followed on from flu was really the worst cold I've ever had in my life. Right, so today's video was going to be a time lapse of a Christmas tree, my Christmas tree, which is very heavily laden, as you will see. But I didn't realise for like the first half of the video that I was actually videoing it rather than doing it as a time lapse. So I have speeded it up because it was extremely long, and this sketch actually took me about 10 hours to do. When you bear in mind that normally the sketches that I do for my YouTube videos take 3 hours, this one was extremely time consuming and made me quite goggle-eyed at the end, and you'll see why as it progresses. Now, this is a picture, watercolour sketch of our family Christmas tree. I love this Christmas tree. It's been in our family now for 30 years. It's obviously a fake tree, and we bought it when we lived in the States, the same Christmas that our youngest child was born, so it's the same age as him. I'd always wanted a big Christmas tree. I was an only child and grew up with very tiny Christmas trees because my parents said you only need a small tree because there's only you, which I thought was quite sad. And I remember seeing a Christmas tree illustration in a children's book of The Night Before Christmas, and it had candy canes, which at the time we didn't have in the UK, and I always thought, I want a tree like that when I have a family. Well, we were very fortunate in having our family, so when the final member of our family was due, we bought our huge Christmas tree to celebrate being a quite large family. So this is my little depiction of it. As I say, we have this tree every year. The first year it took about a week to build it. It now takes me about 3 hours, so we got used to it. It's beginning to look a bit the worse for wear, but I still love it. Over the years, I've collected decorations from all around the world. My daughter brings me back decorations from around the world. Everyone knows that I love Christmas decorations, and often friends make them. So I have lots of handmade ones which are really special, or other friends buy me special ones, so that this tree holds a lot of memories. So that's me waffling on about the tree. Now, as you can see, I've drawn it in, and then I have masked out all the decorations. Some of the masking was a bit thick, and what happened was when I started to pull it off, it did tear the paper. In this case, it didn't matter too much because the background was very detailed in that it was very dark. So when the paper turned into like a blotting paper, it didn't really matter. So this is me just filling in the branches on the tree before I actually carry on to do the decorations. When you use masking fluid, you have to make sure it's completely dry, and some of this, as I said, was quite thick, so I did take a hairdryer to it to dry it off completely. And then after you put the paint on, you have to wait for that to dry completely before you remove the masking fluid, or else it will tear the paper even more. So in both cases it does take a little while to do, but it can be really well worth it, and there are times when masking fluid is an absolute gem. As our family has grown with not just children but grandchildren, we found it more and more difficult to fit all the presents under the tree. So this is just a selection of some of them because there were so many this year. I don't know how Santa managed to bring them all. I really don't. He must have had a very large sack. And we were very fortunate this Christmas. It was really special because we were all here. And oftentimes two of my children who are in the Merchant Navy are away at sea. But this year we were all present, including the grandkids. And it was just a magical Christmas. So I hope that your Christmas was as good as ours. Now I'm starting to just put in some of the packages that are underneath the tree. And again, as always happens with my drawings and with lots of people's watercolours, it will be several layers of colour. The tree I have ended up doing really just one main layer, but adding darker bits into it because you won't actually see much of the tree when the decorations are all done. And I wasn't going to put any of the background in, but then I decided halfway through that maybe I would draw some of the background as well. And it kind of evolved. Now I've managed to get this video down to just under 12 minutes, which, or when you consider it took me 10 hours to actually draw and paint this tree, I think it was pretty good. So already it seems like maybe it's a little bit long, but I thought if I speed it up too much, then you won't actually see what's happening. So I hope you'll bear with me. Just going over some of the tree again and darkening a few branches. And this year we, although there seems to be so many decorations on the tree, we actually were missing a box. We forgot to bring down a box from the attic, and so we didn't have our angel on the top this year. And there were a few decorations that I thought, well, where's that one? So unfortunately there was some missing. Going back into the wrapping paper on the presents and just adding more details. Just little details make it look a lot more realistic. And then the stocking. That stocking's quite special because it was given by the hospital to all the mums who had Christmas babies. So I do have a lovely photo of my baby boy inside the stocking, which seemed absolutely huge for him. So he's poking out, and I always say he was my Christmas present that year. I have removed the masking fluid. As I said, I have torn some of it, but it won't matter. It was at this stage that I thought, oh, what have I done? It's just so detailed. And at the end of it, I had a headache and my eyes really hurt. I do use a Posca white pen. They're called gel pens. Oh, I think they're just called Posca. Uni Posca white pen, paint pen, which gives you quite an opaque white, which you can use just to add details. And I added detail in the wrapping paper, and I'm adding detail to some of the decorations with it. Can blend the white in as well, but as always when you use white paint, it does tend to make your colours go a bit chalky. So this is the finished picture. I hope you've enjoyed my video, and if you have, please subscribe, like and share. Happy painting, see you next time. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.